Rotting is a full contact sport. And I can't lie, on days like today, I'm getting my ass kicked. I define rotting as this physical and mental aversion towards doing anything. The only desire is to sit around, lay in bed, and mindlessly just watch time go by. I feel quite powerless. Just one of those days where it feels like nothing is going right. So why even try to escape the rot? I've struggled with this a lot in college and liken it to a sort of mini burnout. Not necessarily one of working myself too much, but maybe just too much social interaction or too much go in my life. I think a lot of people can relate to this desire for just a little bit of stillness. As someone who's hyper fixated on incremental growth each and every day, rotting is a tough concept for me to come to terms with. Most of the times, I just sit through the rot, watch it go by, but even that feels like a waste. But recently, I think I've been able to navigate the rot just a bit better. The big concept which shifted my perception on rotting was this idea of consumption versus creation. In your life, you'll always be in one of these two modes. Consumption is as it sounds. It can be as compelling as listening to a podcast, to watching a movie in theaters, to sitting in a park, or just mindlessly scrolling TikTok. It's simply the act of in some way just letting stimulus run upon your mind. Creation, on the other hand, is you acting upon your environment to change or create new stimulus and derive pleasure from that act itself. It doesn't necessarily need to take the form of a traditional creative outlet. Creation can range from writing a journal entry to working out or just making a meal or making conversation with someone. The key distinction is that creation is active while consumption is passive. What really shifted my perspective was this awareness of the balance that exists between the two. Each one bolsters up the pleasure you derive from the other. Let's take watching sports for instance. If I mindlessly watch LeBron play basketball, I will derive less pleasure from that than if I feel I can take some form of his discipline as inspiration for me maybe playing pickup basketball or just working out the next day. The same goes for movies. Watching a movie about camaraderie will hit a lot harder if I have relationships I'm actively building on, where I feel I can apply these new ideas and iterate upon them. When you're rotting, you're often toggled into this consumption mode, a lot of times subconsciously, to where your balance is completely thrown off. For me, it feels like I have no control, passively watching as time just goes by. Sometimes relaxing activities don't feel as relaxing if it feels like that's all you've been doing all day. The best thing that I have found is to simply try and slowly move some weight in the balance back to creation, whatever that may be. That could be as simple as calling your friend you haven't talked to in a long time, making a simple meal for yourself, or just going outside for a walk and watching your breath flow. Fight the urge to succumb and ground yourself in a simple act of creation, and slowly your mind will light up and rediscover its balance in due time. Thank you.